What's up, guys? It's CT coming at you with my Panthers Buccaneers recap from this past Sunday. And man, what an interesting game that was. And first of all, Cam didn't play, as you all know. I had no idea that I really felt like there was no chance that Cam wasn't going to play. So when I heard Sunday morning that he was not going to play, I was really surprised, first of all, and I was concerned because Derek Anderson hasn't actually played an NFL game. Actually started and played like meaningful minutes in a regular season game since 2010, and but if you look on the positive side of things, looking back on it, he did have probably more reps in the offseason than Cam did with Cam's ankle surgery and everything. So I guess that actually turned out to benefit us. But he'll be back this Sunday against the Lions. So I'll talk more about that in the Lions preview. But Derek Anderson had total control, and we really dominated this game for 3.5 quarters. And it would have been 4 quarters, but I don't know why uh, Sean McDermott does this, but he's always done this. When we're sitting on the lead, uh, we always get so conservative on defense. Just put the guys way back, put the corners, the DBs way back, and keep everything in front of you. But it always comes back to haunt us. Always does. You remember those Bears games 2 years ago and a year ago against the Bucks in 2012 as well. I'm sure you could point to several other games I'm just not thinking of, but man, we always do that, and it's so annoying. Get up and press these guys and let our pass rush have a chance. Don't let them get the ball out so quickly. God, it was so frustrating. It almost cost us this game. That'd have been ridiculous if it cost us this game, but it didn't. And thanks to Luke Kuechly. Otherwise, they may have drove down the field and scored on that drive with how fucking conservative we were playing. But Derek Anderson really had control of the offense, and the running game really never got going, really. And Greg Olsen, Kelvin Benjamin, I think were really the two stars of this game because Kelvin Benjamin, that catch was ridiculous. I don't know how he caught that. With a guy, maybe draped all over him, caught it. I don't even know what the hell he did. Reached around him or something ridiculous. Um, and Greg Olsen was always coming through clutch, finding ways to get. He's probably the most underrated tight end in the NFL. And I think we proved to a lot of people today, that first of all, our receiving core is not as bad as people thought it was. And Kelvin Benjamin is going to be a very good receiver in this league. And second of all, our defense is still the defense it was a year ago, if not better. Roman Harper showed up big yesterday. Of course, our front seven shows up. It always does. Um, who else? Antoine Cason looked pretty good. I guess Melvin White looked all right. Our secondary might be better than it was last year. It really might. And I told people that might be the case, but people thought I was crazy. And I told people that our receiving core is as good, if not maybe a little bit better than it was last year. People thought I was crazy about that. But I definitely don't think it's really worse than it was last year. I really don't. I think Greg Olsen might, if he could step up and have a better year than he did last year, our receiving core should be better. And Kelvin Benjamin still has to step up. I see him and Cam have really good chemistry. They seem to be like best friends. They're always talking on the sideline. I've seen pictures of them hanging out off the field and whatnot. So I see them having good chemistry. I feel good about that. And Jericho Cotchery is not bad at all, guys. I mean, he's a decent number two receiver. People were saying he's a number three receiver at best, but I mean, the guy is solid. He's not any worse than Brandon LaFell. I'll tell you that. he catches better than Brandon LaFell. There's no doubt about that. But Brandon LaFell was always mediocre at best. He scored some touchdowns for us, made some plays, but I think a big part of that was because people were just so focused on Steve Smith, and people kind of underestimated him. But the same thing can happen with Jericho Cotchery. Um, Defense was phenomenal. First, 3.5 quarters. They could not run the ball at all. Doug Martin could not get going. I thought he might have a bounce back year this year, and he still might, but not against us. But no one ever can run the ball on us. That's never, that's always been the case since last year. Um, what else is there to say? Who else played well? Uh, the punt returns were pretty good, and yeah, I mean, but Derek Anderson, Greg Olson, Kelvin Benjamin really stepped up for this offense, and Derek Anderson could have cost us that game there at the end, throwing that almost threw that pick. As well as he played, he almost blew it. That was a horrible pass, and Olsen was open. You could have hit him for a first down there, and the game would have been over. But instead, he throws a terrible pass, and should have been picked off by Deshaun Goldson. But it wasn't. We got the win, 1-0 for the first time since '08. That's a big step, guys. I was thinking about that's a bad streak to have, really. We've been notorious for getting off to slow starts, get off to a fast start this year, and we need it with how difficult the schedule looks. We People talk about our schedule a lot. You don't really know how difficult NFL schedule is until after the season is over. A schedule can look really tough going into a year on paper, but they're really judging that off of how good those teams were on our schedule last year. It can change. Those guys can be yeah, a lot can change in a year. You know what I mean? So what might look tough on paper might turn out not being as tough. I remember our schedule looked pretty tough going into last year, and people were ranting basically about how weak our schedule was towards the end of the year. I didn't really think it was that weak. There were some mediocre teams, but there's no easy schedule really in the NFL. I mean, you have to get very fortunate to get easy schedules in the NFL. I mean, every team you play is still an NFL team. And we crushed teams the bad teams we played last year. Absolutely crushed. How many games did we last year win? Like 30 something to 10, 30 something to 13. So many games. So we just mop the floor with these teams. And our defense is freaking legit, dude. And any team in the league is gonna have a tough time beating us with that defense. I really think that. But yeah, we have a tough test this week from what it looked like tonight. I know Giants kind of suck. I think still. I had a lot of questions about them going into this year. The Lions just blew the doors off of them, and we're gonna have another tough test this coming Sunday. But I'll get more into that tomorrow. Look out for my Panthers Lions preview tomorrow. I'll go ahead and get that out. Maybe tonight, but I strongly doubt it. I think I'm gonna get that thing out probably tomorrow around 4 o'clock when I get off of work. So be looking out for that, and get Cam back full force, 1-0. Feels good, and that's all you can ask for right now, especially with a backup quarterback going on the road in the division in a game where nobody thought we had a chance. Nobody outside of Panther Nation thought we had a chance. I mean, I knew we had a chance, but I thought that game was really going to be a coin flip. And if our defense didn't get conservative at the end there, we could have won this game, 24-0, 24-3, something like that. But I still think the Bucs are going to be a solid team. McCown has to play a lot better next week, but he's not going to go against a defense like Carolina's every week too. So, and I think they play the Rams next week, so that should be a win for them. Yeah, gotta get ready for the Bucks. Be looking out for that tomorrow. Keep pounding, and I'll see y'all next time.